It's live on The Zone. Buy now at thezone.com.
Great Fire of London in 1666 and the Blitz in World War II. It's a place where this court, the City of London, meets. You'll often see me here in tights. They didn't tell me this when they gave me the job, that I have to wear tights. And I've worked out, finally, how to keep tights up because they kept falling down. I've got the secret now. But that's part of the job, and we sit here and we discuss key issues of the day in this honourable court. Beneath, you'll see Roman remains in our amphitheatre, going back 2,000 years. Yes, we've been around longer than the DFS sale, and we have more assets than Taylor Swift and Oasis combined, even after the ticket prices went up. Sport, and what we've got to do with sport, well, actually, sport's really important to us here in the City of London. Led by Deputy Lord, we have a new sports strategy, and supported by our chairman, Christopher Hayward, a new sports strategy that is designed to ensure that London is world-leading for sport in terms of a destination. We've got 11,000 acres across Greater London, including Epping Forest, Hampstead Heath, where you'll see football pitches, cricket pitches, lidos, rugby, you name it, we have it here. And the city is an amazing place. The City of London is an amazing place. I've had a great time working here. You get to do brilliant things like this, hosting this amazing event, and meet some great people. I was just saying to my wife just last week, reflecting on my time here at the city, that never in our wildest dreams would we have thought that we'd be meeting such brilliant and amazing people. And my wife turned to me and said, "Ian, you're never in my wildest dreams, mate." That's what she said. She was very cruel to me about that. But we're here, we meet people like you, we host people like you. It's a great honour to have you here. And just some final acknowledgements. I'd like to thank the sponsors and organisers of tonight's event, also the Mayor of London for his support in bringing high-profile sport to the capital, thanks to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz, and His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed Salman, and His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh, for putting together this spectacular Riyadh season event and its fight week here in London. The Riyadh season has really elevated the sport, and it is genuinely being done for the fans of boxing. We are here today to witness an outstanding card featuring Anthony Joshua against Daniel Dubois for the IBF heavyweight title of the world. I'd like to say let's get ready to rumble, but I can't. But what I can say is thank you and enjoy this evening's event. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ian Thomas, CBE. Let's now welcome our host, Mr. Dev Sani.
Thank you, Thomas Triber. Thank you, Ian Thomas, CBE, as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another groundbreaking Riyadh season special. And this truly is something special. We have lit up the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh. We have lit up the BMO Stadium in Los Angeles. And on Saturday night, we will light up the National Stadium right here in the United Kingdom. Welcome to the Riyadh season card, Wembley Stadium edition. This truly special night, I mean, Riyadh now has become the global home of everything big time. The entire boxing landscape has changed. Over the space of the last 11 months, we have seen new kings crowned, we've seen history written, we've seen enemies unite, we've seen legends made, and we've seen a few legends fade. And the reason is Riyadh season. And now some of that Saudi Arabian magic is just starting to get sprinkled around the world. We saw it last month as pound-for-pound star Terence Crawford made his Riyadh season debut, and we'll see it again, Wembley Stadium on Saturday night. The main event, of course, former two-time unified world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua taking on the newly crowned, heavy-handed Daniel Dynamite Dubois. He is now the world champion heading into this fight. It's an explosive head-on collision in the heavyweight division. And the undercard all set up here. Well, in what is becoming the norm for Riyadh season, you can't even really call this an undercard. So many of these fights could be the main event. And we've very much got the UK covered. London to Leeds, we've got West Midlands to Belfast, Scotland to Sunderland. A little bit of everything on Saturday night. And by the way, as if that wasn't supersonic enough, we've even got a little bit of Liam Gallagher on Saturday night. So make sure you tune in if you're not lucky enough to be there. A truly unforgettable evening coming up. Well, let's speak to some of these fighters. Let's start with a very intriguing fight in the super lightweight division. We're speaking about unforgettable nights. Well, there was a young gentleman sat on the end of the table there on my left side who received an unforgettable phone call. Josh Padley will be taking on Mark Chamberlain on Saturday night. And Josh, I'm going to start with you here, because I read a brilliant article in The Sun about you. You managed to get a full page in The Sun from Wally Downs, talking about how you are giving up the job of becoming, or of being an electrician, to follow this boxing dream. Big night for you on Saturday.
Yeah, big night. I want to first of all say thank you to everybody involved in Riyadh season. It's been nothing short of amazing this week. But yeah, the last 8 weeks I've managed to become a full-time athlete and give myself the best chance possible come Saturday night.
Well, I've heard you say that you will be Mark Chamberlain's best opponent yet. And I put that to Mark Chamberlain quite recently, who sat at the other end.
Oh, he's got some backing up to do.
Well, look, Mark, just chime in. I mean, when you talked to me, you said he needs to give his head a wobble, and you'll give his head a wobble. I mean, what are the thoughts here, gents?
He can try, like. I'm sure he's going to. It's a fight, but I back myself, and I definitely think I'm going to be Mark's hardest test today.
How do you claim you as my hardest test?
Because I haven't had a chance to prove myself yet.
Okay.
You're my proof, so when I beat you Saturday night, then...
You've got a lot of backing up to do if you're going to beat me. Trust me.
That's what I'm coming to do, bro, don't worry.
You can have a go, but you're not going to.
Mark, your opponent is also on record saying that he will bring chaos on Saturday night. How do you deal with chaos, Mark?
Same as every fight, really. They all talk the talk, and when they get punched on the chin, it all changes for them, so you'll soon find out.
And you're becoming a bit of a favourite around Riyadh. It's no secret. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has highlighted you as one of his favourite fighters, maybe his favourite fighter. That's a lot of pressure heading into Saturday.
Yeah, obviously there's that added pressure there, but while we're on that subject, I would like to thank Turki Al-Sheikh, Spencer Brown, Queensbury, Frank Warren, everyone involved for letting me be involved in these platforms. And like I say, you're going to see another explosive performance on Saturday night, and we'll come away with another victory and keep everyone happy and hopefully be part of these big platforms in the future.
Well, Josh Padley, let me just come to you here. Do you think he's overlooking you at all? He speaks with a lot of confidence as to how he's going to deal with you on Saturday night.
I mean, he's obviously going off what he's seen of me, which is not much content out there. Again, I've never had a chance to really prove myself against a high-level fighter, so this is the level that I want to be at. Come Saturday night, you're going to see that.
You're going to need to, because you're in a proper fight Saturday night.
That's what I want. That's why I'm here.
Cool. Make sure you bring your A game, because you're going to need it.
Got everything ready.
Okay, we'll see.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Mark Chamberlain. Thank you, Josh Padley. A brilliant fight there between two unbeaten fighters. Someone has got to go.
Not mine.
Today. As Mark Chamberlain says, not his. So we'll tune in to find out anyway. No spoilers, thank you, Mark. Let's keep things moving. We'll head to the middleweight division. Now, there was supposed to be a fight here between Josh Kelly and Liam Smith. Unfortunately, Liam Smith had to pull out. We wish him well. He's had to pull out. He's not well. We can't go through with the fight. But Liam Smith's loss is the gain of Ishmael Davis. He got the call. 6 days' notice. He stepped up. He said yes. Ishmael Davis, I mean, How do you go from being the guy that just took the fight with Josh Kelly to being the guy that makes sure he beats Josh Kelly on Saturday?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Eddie Hearn and Turkey Al-Sheikh for this chance and all the Matchroom team. But listen, I've heard Josh Kelly's interviews, he's overlooking me. And let me just tell you, your best win's Troy Williamson, who I just beat as well. And every time you've stepped up, you've been beat. Ray Robinson, you should have lost. David Avanesian beat you. And I'm the most progressive British boxer, no joke. So you're overlooking me, but Saturday night, bro, you're going to be in there with the hell, bro, I'm telling you now.
I'm excited to see.
I dare you to meet me in the middle of the ring.
We'll
I know what you're going to do, hit, move, hit, man, I'm going to be on you the whole way, bro, and you've never had it like me, bro. You get me? And you're overlooking me, and your trainer knows, bro, he knows, and you can't train for my style, so you've been training for Liam Smith, yeah, but you can't train for my style. You're going to laugh, bro, you're a pretty boy, you're not cut like me, bro, I tell you now, you ain't cut like me. I'm fit, bro. I ain't here for no payday. I'm here because I believe I'm going to knock you out, bro. You ain't making it to the 12th. Let me tell you, bro. Let me tell you.
Don't talk till you get in. We'll see.
Whatever, we'll see, bro.
Your best win was Troy Williamson.
But we're going to see, bro. We are going to send everyone levels. Because everyone seems to think
it's levels. There's levels to this game.
The truth is, every single time you've stepped up, you've been beat, bro.
You learn.
And me and you have got the same best win. Troy's my best win. I didn't have no amateur.
2 years on, I finished Troy. I finished them.
We're going to see on Saturday. All the talking's done, yeah. Saturday night's going to happen.
You're doing a lot of talking there.
You're going to see a real superstar.
You're doing a lot
That's
of
what
talking
I am.
there.
I'm going to show you.
You're doing a lot of talking there.
Trust me, bro.
Listen, we'll see. I'm excited to see you.
I'm going to show you, Josh.
I'm grateful for you taking the fight.
I'm going to show you, bro.
This late notice against someone like me.
Bro, and
you got some balls on
your chest, bro.
You got some balls on you.
I dare you.
Hold you up. Hold you
in the middle of the ring with me.
Hold you up.
I dare you.
You don't punch enough.
Everyone, you're a superstar. What they think you are. Step in the middle of the ring with me and stay there with me. You were going to keep me.
Yeah.
You're going to keep anyway. We'll see you anyway. You're going to.
Okay.
Believe.
I'm excited to see.
I'm excited. Believe you. When I got that call, 6 days notice, mate, I couldn't sleep. I got out of my bed and I was up the whole day after watching Canelo beat fucking. Sorry for my language. After watching Canelo beat Belanga. I'm going to beat you, bro.
I think you're a little bit excited here, Ishmael.
I'm going to see.
Save that energy for Saturday night, bro.
Yeah, man.
Save that.
Cool.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, that was one question, by the way, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
was a bit excited.
Just the one.
I was a bit excited.
Because you know what it is? I hate being
excited.
I know what I'm about, so I hate, people, no, listen, there's no bad blood, yeah, but I hate people talking down to me, down about me, like, oh yeah. Like, I'm training for world level and this. Bro, you're not world level, bro. When have you been world level? Never. And I believe I'm going there, so we're going to see. Because you're in my...
Have a look at my box, Rick. Have a look at your box, Rick. Have a look at what I've fought and have a look at you fought.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Have a look at it. Have a look at the people you beat.
It doesn't matter, bro. I'm telling you now, I'm the most progressive British boxer. I've had no amateurs, bro. I've had 2 fights on TV.
Yeah.
The first one, the second one was much better. This one's going to be much better.
Well done.
And I've had 3 weeks in camp.
You're getting very excited. You need to save that energy,
Yeah, cool.
That's come out of nowhere. That's nervous energy
all the time, bro. You're not where I'm
nervous
bro. Where I come from, mate, you make a mistake, your life's gone, bro. You ain't from there. You're a pretty boy, bro. So let me tell you that.
We're boxing, brother.
And remember,
we're boxing.
Remember that.
We're boxing, Normie. We're
anyway, talking.
We'll
see Saturday night.
We're boxing.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you. Ishmael, I asked you one question, so I should, of course, ask Josh one question. Hi, Josh, great to see you, by the way.
Great to see you, Dave.
Listen, you've had to switch, late change, 6 days' notice. It was going to be Liam Beefy Smith. It's now this man who is intent on taking your head off on Saturday. How has that switch been for you?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Spencer, Wasserman, Turkey Al-Sheikh for helping me out, keep me on this card. Switch been beautiful, I believe he's going to bring exactly what Liam is going to bring. Liam's world-class at it, that's the difference. Ishmael has improved himself world-class at it, so I was getting ready for someone on that level and that magnitude. And I just put our stars and our boxing ability side by side, and I believe he's getting tossed in the deep end late notice. It's a lot of excitement and a lot of, I know I belong here. I brought Ishmael to the table, accepting his fight. So Ishmael's going to be excited. He's going to come out. He's going to fight off a lot of nerves. But when it comes to crunch time, when you're in front of the big crowd in Wembley Stadium, it's going to come on top real quick.
He's talking about...
I'm made for this. Believe me, I'm made for this.
Well, you want him to stand and trade with you, right? Josh, he's made that pretty clear. Come and have a fight with me. Will you stand and trade with him? You can have a fight with him?
He hasn't got enough power for me to respect him, really, to stand there and trade, do you know what I mean? If he's stopping the guys on the feet and then seeing his pag of Troy Williamson didn't take one backward step, didn't get hurt once in the fight. I hurt Troy Williamson 4 times, 5 times.
It's a lie, bro. It's a lie.
4 or 5
no
times.
one's seen a night.
At 120, 109. 120, 109.
Josh,
120, 109.
You're a nice guy, bro.
116,
Listen, let's just
140.
allow the chat. Yeah, I'll see you Saturday.
116, 140. You
me,
started the chat though, Ishmael.
Yeah,
Don't start. He asked you one
showing my
question, you went
dominance,
off.
bro, like I'm going to be doing
He
in
asked
the ring.
you one
You're
question,
talking
you
down
went
about
off.
me, bro. I've not said no, but respectful, and I heard you talking down about me. I've got to come
lad,
who I am.
you need to give it a rest. You need to wind it in. Just chill out.
Cool.
Just relax.
Cool, I'm cool.
We'll get on Saturday, don't worry, relax.
Saturday, you're going to see, bro.
Relax. I know it's the first time here, but listen, we're all big boys here. Let's just relax.
I've been on good
Let's
shows
just relax.
before. This is the biggest
chill
show,
out.
yeah, but it's not about this, bro. This don't mean nothing.
This is your first time at the
Fight,
table.
that means something, bro. Because if I lose the fight, all this is gone. So it don't matter. Just believe I've got that in mind.
All that, hey, so you're lumping that pressure on yourself. Don't worry. Make sure you come in with that pressure.
Bro. Same for you.
Don't
You
worry,
lose
bro.
this fight. Where you going? Everyone's gonna laugh at you, bro. Because you think you're a superstar.
I am.
Big superstar.
We've got to move it along. We've got so many brilliant fights. I could probably listen to you talk all day, and you probably could talk all day. Brilliant stuff. Middleweight fight coming up. Josh Kelly.
Thank you, Mr.
against
Dev.
Ishmael Davis. Thank you, Mr. Josh Kelly. Thank you, Ishmael Davis. What a fight. That's whet the appetite here.
That's a bit spicy.
It's a bit
Jesus.
spicy. It's a bit spicy. I'm not sure we'll get similar spice between two very nice guys here in Josh Warrington and Anthony Kakachi. I've seen your face-offs. It's all been very respectful. But let's see what we can do. Let's have a chat here. Josh, this is for the IBO World Super Featherweight Championship, by the way. Josh, great to see you. We know all about the Leeds Warrior, Josh Warrington, at featherweight. Tenacious. Never took a step back. He's got that will, that grit. But what is Josh Warrington like at super featherweight?
Absolutely massive. I'd like to just carry on echoing, boys. Thank you to all those involved in giving this opportunity. Frank, Eddie, Spencer, His Excellency. It's a new chapter for me. Super featherweight. Been a featherweight for over 12 years, championship level. But you know what? It's one of them things where you look back over your career. Maybe should have done this, you should have done that. But now's the time to step up. And this camp, I felt the benefits from it. You know, everyone talks about having the best camp and this, that, and the other, but I feel really strong, feel really good, and I'll show on Saturday night that it's a decision that I should have done a few years ago.
Your opponent, Anthony Kakachi, the champ over there, he says that your style is perfect for him. If he wants to box you, he can box you. If he wants to fight you, he can fight you. What do you think about that?
Oh, you try to get the wooden spoon in there, Dev. And we know between me and him, there's a lot of animosity in this room, but nothing but respect for the man. He's a new champion. Listen, you're not going to get loads of screaming and shouting at me, and I don't think you're going to do what one thing I will guarantee you is action on Saturday night, and I think that's the way that I've always done my business. I think that's the same with him as well. So, we might not shout and scream at each other, but listen, don't miss our fight, because guarantee it'll be the fight of the night. I'm experienced. I'm experienced in this game, and I think I've dealt with every single style that I've come against. We've been tall, short, a boxer, a puncher. I've been in with them big guys, and a lot of the time I've come through it. So that experience, you can't buy that, and it goes a long way.
Josh, I've heard you say you want to be in fights that people remember. You've already been in so many that people will remember. Mm-hmm. What will people be saying about Josh Warrington on Saturday night?
Just stepped up and he never turned his back, and even when the chips were down and things weren't going his way, he turned up and did the business. I said that, Dev, about the belts, because disappointed the IBF's not on the line now, but it just is. It's about it's about the fight, and we're going to have an exciting fight this weekend. And yeah, the journey of Joshua Warrington will continue.
Okay, let's hear from your opponent, the champ, the Andy Town Apache, Anthony Kakachi. Brilliant, thrilling win over Joe Cordina last time out on the Fury Usyk undercard. And now you head into this fight as the champion, you head in as the favourite, you head in, surely, with the pressure.
No, there's no pressure. Josh, he's a two-time world champion. His career has been filled with success. I'm only getting a bit of success now. Josh's a great champion, featherweight. You know, he's moving up in weight this one. You know, he's a bit stronger and whatever else. But I'm a big super featherweight, and it's going to be a tough night for him.
Well, you've said that his style is perfect for you. Just tell us a little bit more about that. Why is it so perfect for you?
I've boxed. He's smaller than me. You know, he's going to come on the shots. I'm not going to have to go looking for him. So, you know, also, you know, he's a big set of balls. He's big heart. He's going to come for a proper fight, and that's exactly what I want him to do. So, you know, Josh, he's a good lad. I've got nothing bad to say about him. You know, his accolades speak for themselves. He's done everything. Fought some great champions, beat them. So I know I'm in for a hard night, but listen, no one's taking these belts off me.
What is it that makes you unbeatable right now? Because I've heard the way you've been talking ahead of this fight. There's an intensity about you. There's something in your eyes. It feels like it's going to take a lot to beat you. But what do you think? What is making you so tough to beat right now?
Well, no man's unbeatable. Every man's beatable. But you know, again, this is all new to me. I've worked from I was 9 years of age, and now 35. You know, I've worked to have these in front of me and to have these type of nights ahead. You know, so I don't want to be giving these away. You know, a couple of months down the line. You know, but I know I'm not taking Josh for granted. I know exactly what he's going to bring. You know, I know he's locked in. But again, the belts are coming with me.
Okay, thank you very much, Anthony Kakachi. Thank you, Josh Warrington. Brilliant super featherweight fight. Two gentlemen, if you watch the face-offs, you'll see they'll probably be friends after this, but when the first bell rings, they are going to give it absolutely everything on Saturday night. Well, we've got a brilliant fight at light heavyweight. The WBO interim light heavyweight championship is on the line. Willie Hutchinson and Joshua Buatsi. Now, the build-up to this fight has been, let's say, ill-tempered. For those that haven't seen the clips, it got a little bit out of hand when they did a face-off. They had to be separated by security. I'm hoping it doesn't kick off today because I'm certainly not worthy of being a security man. But let's start with Willie Hutchinson. Let's start with the Hutch train. It was a brilliant win last time out against Craig Richards. You went into that fight telling everyone what you were going to do, telling everyone that you're going to beat this man, you were the underdog, but you did it. How do you feel about this one?
100%, Dev, 100%. Listen, look at the people who are up here with. For me, this is unbelievable. It's I mean, what an experience. Do you know what I mean? A lot of great fighters up here, but like I said, Dev, last time out, everything I said I'd done. I basically done with far from knock him out, and I nearly did 2, 3 or 4 times. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just looking forward to knocking this fella out on Saturday night. Yeah.
This one has been quite a spicy build-up. It has been. There's been hands put on each other. You've been separated by security, as I mentioned. Why do you think that is? What's going on?
I don't have a clue, to be honest with you. It's up to this fella. I was all right, to be honest with you, until I don't know what happened to him. He got an emotional wreck, and his emotions got to him, and it's probably the same thing's going to happen to him in this fight. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Rain or shine, morning or night, Free Now has you covered whenever you need a ride. Just
2 days away.
It was... Dev, just keep talking. Well, I don't even know where it come from, because me and this fella, even though we only met a few times, and a couple of times we did meet, I beat him up in the gym. But apart from that, it was always all right, do you know what I mean? Listen, I'm the biggest worky ticket in the whole entire world. Far from it. But I genuinely was actually trying to be all right with this man. And then he tried to be a bad man, and he ain't got any bad man in him. You know what I mean? What bad man would he know? Ain't got a clue.
Cool story, bro. Ev, what's up?
What?
I can ask you another question, Josh. I mean,
right.
Look, Willie has mentioned there, and there is a theme of sparring story heading into this event. He is on record quite regularly saying that he had his way with you in sparring. I know you've done several interviews saying you don't believe that to be the case. This is the opportunity on a big stage to kind of downplay his claims.
It's not an opportunity on a big stage. It's all on the internet. So again, Dev, if you want to remind yourself, if anyone here wants to remind themselves, go on YouTube, man. The answer's the same.
How do you win this fight?
By being Buatsi. I show up. I tell you guys who my source is. I always give reference to God, because literally everyone here works hard and different things work for different people. But for me, that's my source.
And what do you think of Willie Hutchinson?
I think about him what you think. What everyone thinks about him is the same.
To be honest with you, I think I'm all right. Unless I'm deluded and away with the fairies, I genuinely think I'm actually all right. I shake everybody's hand. Every person I meet, I shake their hand. I try and be as helpful as I can. I can be a nightmare sometimes, yeah. Like I'm his nightmare just now, but I'm only his nightmare. You know what I mean?
You think you're a nice guy, then everyone thinks you're a nice guy, then you're a nice guy.
Well, they're all laughing. They're not laughing with you.
I don't need people to laugh with me, bro. They're laughing at you.
No one laughs, so I quite like that. That's all right. Well, I hope not. Anyhow, I think you're all my friends, and I'm enjoying every second of this until really tomorrow's the first bit in it. So when you weigh in, we'll see. We'll go see each other in a minute. Anyhow, we'll get a bit of food into us, and then Saturday night. The first thing's tomorrow, and then Saturday. Listen, I've been in camp for 11 weeks. Today, Thursday, I went on a Thursday, 11 weeks. I've been training my ass off for 11 weeks. I've done all the hard work. This is fun, man. Enjoy yourself, innit? This is, what on earth have I been doing all that for? What, to look on the table, oh, these things. You know what I mean? I've been training for this man for not for 11 weeks, for 17 years. He's the biggest step for me. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? This is fun. Have some fun. That man looks like he's going to cry his eyes out, bless him.
Tell us why you win this fight, Willie.
Why? Because I'm far too good for him. It's that simple.
Any final message, Josh?
In every aspect.
Again?
Any final message?
He knows it.
I told him already, September 21st, I'll see you. So 2 more days, babe. I'll see you.
It's just like that, man.
It's just like that. Thank you, Willie. Thank you, Joshua Buatsi. Brilliant. WBO Interim Light Heavyweight Championship on the line on Saturday night. Of course, the winner is in line for a shot at the winner of Artur Beterbiev against Dmitry Bivol coming up October 12th, all part of Riyadh season. That's a fantastic fight. Do not miss that one. Well, let's move on to the chief support. We've got 2 middleweights here who both have different habits. We've got Hamza Shiraz, who has got a habit of knocking out every single middleweight that gets put in front of him. We've got Tyler Denny, who has a habit of when he is presented with an unbeaten rising British middleweight, he takes their unbeaten record. That's what we have heading into this fight. He's also the European champion, and Tyler Denny, I'm going to start with you. In your most recent fights, you talked about how you want to go to Saudi. You want to go and get some of that Saudi magic. Well, Saudi has come to you. Riyadh season has come to the UK. How does it feel to be part of such an incredible show?
Listen, I'm privileged, man, and I've talked it into existence. I'm here. But firstly, I want to thank His Excellency, Spencer Brown, Boxer, BCBL Johnson, and my whole team. It's been a great experience all week. I've enjoyed every second of it, and I'm looking forward to Saturday night. I plan to enjoy that even more.
What do you make of your opponent here? He is he's unbeaten. He's got very heavy hands. He's a Riyadh season ambassador as well, by the way. So very much a fan.
I scored 76 goals in one season. Everyone says I'm good enough to be scouted by a pro club. That's my dream. Till I died.
Hello, darlings. Futuristic scooters. Oh!
Hamza Shiraz. Hamza, you are a Riyadh season ambassador as well. Firstly, just how great is it to have Riyadh season here in the UK? You must be very proud as an ambassador.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank the Almighty Allah for allowing us to be here today. I'd like to thank His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for, not just giving me, but giving all us fighters up here the opportunity to give back. I'd like to thank main man Spencer down there for helping me out a lot. And yeah, I'm honoured, Dev, honoured to say the least. It's like I keep saying, it's our opportunity to give back, especially being a Riyadh season ambassador. There's expectations there, and people say, is it pressure? I wouldn't say it's pressure. I like having these expectations of me, because I turn up, I show up, and I get the knockout.
Well, you're in against a man who is an underdog who keeps on winning. What do you make of your opponent, Tyler Denny, on Saturday night?
Listen, he does what he's got to do. You know what I mean? He does what he's got to do. He turns up. He's been beaten whoever's in front of him, the underdogs and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you've got to remember, I'm nothing like the last 5 fighters he's upset. Listen, I go out to LA, I do my thing over there. And if you speak to anyone, speak to Ricky, speak to my coach, speak to my team, you understand that I am a very, very, very disciplined man, and I understand the mission of what I've set out to do and how I want to achieve it and what I've got to do, and the buck stops with Tyler Denny and I've got to get him out of the way.
Well, Tyler, let me just bring you back in here. You were asked a little while ago, do you feel like Hamza Shiraz has made a mistake taking on a fight with Tyler Denny, considering he's on the cusp of challenging for a world title? You said, yes, I feel he has made a mistake. We put that to Hamza, and he said, well, that might change in fight week. The energy may change from Tyler. So what is the energy? Has this man made a mistake?
Listen, man, if you think I'm going to turn up and start shooting myself, you've got another thing coming. I don't get the question. I don't get why you can get triggered by that. You asking me if I made a mistake. I'm never going to say, no, he made the right decision, he's going to splatter me. You know what I mean? I believe in myself. Of course I'm going to say he's made a mistake. That's just it is. He could have waited around and got his opportunities. Fair play to him, man. He wants a good fight. I'm the European champion. I'm going to bring him a good fight. And that's all it is, really. It's a bit of stirring and whatever, but, I believe in myself. Of course, I think he's made a mistake.
Hamza, we talked about, you said, well, let's see what his energy is in fight week. That's a pretty clear indication of what he intends to do.
Yeah, it is. And I'm glad. Like I said, I keep banging on about giving back. That's all I want to do when you've got the opportunity of this magnitude.
Well, Tyler Denny was also asked 3 reasons why I beat Hamza Shiraz. He said, I want it too much, my confidence is sky high, and I'm a sore loser. How do you deal with that?
I win. It's as simple as that. Don't really make much of it. He done what he had to do. He answered the questions, and that was that.
You're on a streak of 14 consecutive knockouts. When you look across there, you see Tyler Denny. Is that number 15?
Yeah, definitely, inshallah. That's the plan. Do you know what I mean? I've worked too hard, Dev. I've worked too hard.
Tyler, any response?
No chance, man. No chance. I'm winning the fight, obviously. He believes he wins the fight. But I think it's two people who genuinely believe they're winning the fight. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to get a good fight. And that's the good thing with Riyadh season is the best fighting the best, man. Do you know what I mean? So bring it on.
Bring it on, indeed. Thank you, Hamza Shiraz. Thank you, Tyler Denny. Brilliant fight at middleweight on Saturday. Well, that concludes the undercard part of the press conference. They're going to do face-offs now down the front, and we'll be back very shortly for the main event. Thank you.
So that concludes the undercard press conference. We will now have some face-offs, though, that we will run our eyes over as these pairs of fighters go head-to-head. I think the fight of the night there was Josh Kelly against Ishmael Davis. Carl, Ishmael Davis brought some heat, didn't he, to the podium, and it's kind of tied in with the discussion we were having earlier on. I felt that was good tactics from him.
He made a good point as well. Me and Matt were talking about it. Like they both share the same best win. I think that he maybe feels a little bit disrespected by what some of the things Josh Kelly's saying, and I don't even think he said it purposely. I think Josh Kelly genuinely thinks he's a level above Ishmael Davis. Ishmael Davis thinks that's a little bit of disrespect thrown his way, and you could tell he was annoyed there. But he's up for it, isn't he? Like, I mean, out of all the fighters, he sounded the most ferocious on the stage, and he's definitely here to win.
I thought Kelly handled that pretty well, though he didn't really rise to it. He stayed calm, and I thought by the end of that exchange maybe he slightly came out on the right side of it, because Davis possibly just went on a little bit too long saying the same thing.
He did, but I think it was probably a bit of a reality check for Kelly as well, thinking, you know what, I've got to actually give this guy some props. You know, he's just not here to make the numbers up. I thought this was a walk in the park Saturday night. Hearing that, seeing that, you know, the points that Davis is putting across there, he's thinking this could actually be more even than what it is. Now, this is down to a fighter's individual self-confidence to think, do I really believe I'm levels above you? But by the sounds of it, it's like, you know what, maybe I've got to actually give you a bit more respect than I thought.
Matt, we didn't get loads out of Tyler Denny or Hamza Shiraz or Anthony Kakache or Josh Warrington, which was what we expected, really. Kind of all eyes were on Willie Hutchison and Josh Buatsi to an extent, and he didn't really manage to land Hutchison, did he? I'm not saying he was trying overly hard to, but I think he was just having a bit of a fence just to see what might happen, and Buatsi wasn't really having it.
No, he was prodding a little bit, but nothing came back, did it? So he had nothing to really go with. I still think it's going to be a really good fight. You know, Buatsi's never been a big talker at press conferences. You know, he's sort of always plays it down, doesn't he? But I think it'll be a good fight. So I think Hutchinson's going to be tricky. I think he's going to be early doors, could be difficult for Buatsi. I think the second half will be really interesting. And
let's remember the potential of Willie Hutchison. I think his first 5 fights he'd signed with Haymaker. Yeah. They don't sign anybody and everybody. So and it's only because of
Shelley Finkel's his manager as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't sign anybody they don't think has the potential. This man's got the potential. Now, hopefully the maturity matches his ability and self-confidence, self-belief. This fight is a lot closer, and people should pay a lot more attention to this fight than any other fight on the other card, because if there's going to be an upset, it's that one.
The fighters just behind us, just assembling either side of the stage, patiently waiting for the face-offs, and I think the first one is coming, which will be Mark Chamberlain and Josh Padley. How would you describe that? Panoramic view almost of Eddie Hearn there and Frank Warren. And Chamberlain and Padley is a fight that was put together at relatively short notice. Padley had 6-7 weeks notice for this. Chamberlain a heavy favourite, which is completely understandable, and he's taking the opportunity here, Chamberlain, I think, to just kind of welcome Padley to the big time and just try and make him understand that on Saturday there'll be nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. He's got a bit of he's got a side to him, Chamberlain, I think, which you see comes out gradually during fight week.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a spiteful person. I think that I like the way he fights. I think that there was obviously a lot of talk about him and Sam Noakes in this rivalry they're building up, but he seems to be doing his own thing now, being backed heavily by Turki Al-Sheikh, who loves him. But you can see why. He's an exciting fighter. Really, really good, exciting fighter to watch. And he looks to knock people out. He looks to hurt people. Yeah, and he was just letting Josh Padley know that I'm the big boy here in town and I'm the boss.
So Moses Atama has joined us on the panel. Thanks very much for taking the time. Always good to see you. When you look at these press conferences yourself in big fight weeks, you've been part of a few of them now. How do you view them? Do you feel like you watch people go about their business and pick up a few tips? Do you feel like there's an expectation on you to say more as you get older and more experienced?
No, not really. Sometimes I like watching it as a fan. Like, obviously, I know I'm in the sport of boxing, but yeah, I do like the entertainment side. So obviously, when I do see something silly in a press conferences or something like, don't know, I'll just smile at it. I don't really tend to take it in my note or anything, but I do like watching the press conference.
So we've got Hamza Shiraz and Tyler Denny up on stage at the moment. Oh no, that was Ishmael Davis and Josh Kelly, I beg your pardon. So those two just breaking off, and that was all pretty civilised. Davis, as we were mentioning, had plenty to say, and I think it was wise of him to try and kind of put it on Josh Kelly a bit in the press conference and just remind him of what you were all saying, basically, which is that with the change of opponent, the pressure is now really on Kelly rather than Davis. In terms of these press week events, when you two were fighting, were you just glad to get them out of the way? Was it a relief to have it over with and now you can just concentrate on the very final bits of weight making?
Might have been different for Johnny, but I was always struggling to make weight, so they were a pain in the ass for me, if I'm being honest. All I wanted to do was not be around food, not be around people. I was hungry, I was thirsty, and I was angry. The last thing you want to do is a press conference, but you understand why they have to be done.
I hated this week. Brendan called me the entertainer. Why? I wasn't funny, couldn't tell jokes. But I thought this week, why are you asking me these questions now? Why don't you ask me them at the beginning of training camp? And it's just something you're obligated to do. You've got to do it. It's the business side of our sport. And you do as little as possible. But if it's personal, that's where fights are won and lost. That's where I thought I won the fight against Carl Thompson for the world title. Fight week, because I knew he wore his heart on his sleeve. So you've got to think tactically, you've got to think smart, but most of the time, you don't want to do it.
All very good natured between Kakachi and Josh Warrington there, all smiles, and that's how it's been in the build up to this one. Very cordial, very, very friendly. Quick handshake with Spencer Brown, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, and I think they're saving, or they have saved, the chief support to be the last one that we will see. So Hutchinson quick to the centre there, and I wonder will he have a little bit of a word with Buatsi. Security are primed and ready just to prize them apart if they need to. Bit of a height difference.
Yeah,
interesting actually. Buatsi's one of these people who is taller when you meet him than you think he's going to be. And Hutchinson with just a few little words for him. Buatsi won't give any kind of reaction. I'm 100% sure about that. When it comes to the stare off, when it comes to you staring deep into your opponent's eyes, they could go on for a really long time, and sometimes people don't want to break the stare. Other times one fighter's not really bothered and they'll break off. Sometimes you have to put a piece of paper between the two of them. I mean, how do you approach that? Do you just hold it for as long as you want to and then decide enough is enough, or do you not want to look away first?
Depends on how you want to think of it, really. Like me, I don't feel like this wins you any fights. I feel like...
Correct.
I've watched a lot of Floyd Mayweather's fights, and he never, like, maybe in a face-off, yeah, but once you get in the ring, he never actually used to look at the opponent in the eyes. He always used to look in the belt. But I don't know, I feel like this is a good time to get into someone's head, maybe. I remember there was one time I came up to Sheffield, Johnny, and I came with the England squad. You know, we went to the English gym and you was training there, and you made one of the boxers like go on the bags, and while you were shouting, I'm not going to say what you was shouting, but you was a lot of abuse, and you was basically trying to be like, in order for you to be a fighter, you need to do what you got to do and not listen to the external source. And I feel like, especially in this fight week, there's been a lot of trash talking, especially between these two.
Was that a Brendan Ingle trick, Johnny? Was it?
Yeah. He said the mind get. Listen, he turned me from a zero kid that was completely scared of his own shadow into a world champion. And as far as he's concerned, it's working on the mind, being able to concentrate on what you're good at, and not listening to the negatives and the positives. And that's the first thing Brendan did when you walked to the gym. He said, "Tell me about yourself." For 2 minutes. Now, if I make you face the wall and start talking about yourself for 2 minutes, you probably do 20 seconds and start stuttering. And while he's doing that, he's talking to you. But in a way, he's kind of getting you to concentrate and think on your feet. Not remember, think on your feet. Remember what I said about Dubois? He's not capable of thinking in a fight. Brendan taught you to think on your feet, think in a fight. And so it starts from the very beginning.
Well, let's just move on to that one, because the next press conference, of course, will be the top of the bill. You're at heavyweight this week. Just have a look at Tyler Denny and Hamza Shiraz. Big height difference between those two. I don't think we're going to get too much reaction from either fighter. Everything between them, as it has been in other fights, has been very disciplined. But with AJ and Dubois, what have you made of each of them, just kind of watching them this week? Because an interesting thing for you at the moment, it's just to watch how fighters like Joshua in particular go about their business during fight week, but you'll have your eye on Dubois because he's the younger guy, the guy on the rise, kind of more in your position than Joshua is. How have you found it all?
To be fair, the whole kind of week I haven't really thought about it too much. I've just really been taken in as a fan, but obviously, like I said, I'm in the gym with Anthony Joshua, and I see how relaxed yet switched on he is, and like I can implement that in my game. And like honestly, I turned up to the gym yesterday, he's laughing, joking, but when you talk to him, you know that right when it's go time, it's going to be go time. And I feel like that's something I can implement in my game. And obviously with Dubois, I had a whole training camp with him for obviously when he was preparing for Usyk. Obviously I wasn't in his change room or anything, but like I picked up on a few things that he does as well, and I feel like I kind of got my opinion on what's going to happen on Saturday night, but I feel like it's a very, very good and intriguing matchup.
Who hits the hardest?
The thing is, when I sparred Anthony Joshua, I feel like I was obviously 16, and he don't really want to knock out a 16-year-old, innit? So obviously, do you get what I mean? Whereas with Dubois, I was kind of like a grown man. Who hits the hardest? I feel like AJ probably would hit harder, but Dubois, his jab is very, very annoying. It's so annoying, especially southpaw, the orthodox. It kind of like just stop. It's just in a weird position where it just stops you from throwing it. And his speed is very underrated as well, and he's got a good chin.
Who's the fastest?
I said, who's the fastest? I think AJ's more explosive. I think Dubois is stronger, but AJ's more powerful.
Okay, so I can just see Joshua Buatsi just milling around at the bottom of the steps to the stage. I think he's going to come up and join us before too long. It's an interesting point you make there, Moses, about learning the ability to kind of be constantly vigilant but also relaxed, because that's exactly what you have to be in the boxing ring, and that's always seemed to me to be something that would be pretty difficult to pull off. So Josh Buatsi joins us. I think kind of all eyes were on you and Willie Hutchinson for that press conference, to be honest. Everybody, if I was a betting man, I think I probably would have taken a reasonable amount of money on there being an incident, if there was one, between the pair of you two. But it was actually quite calm in the end.
He was very measured. That's why Willie was still trying to wind it up, but he was very measured.
But you know what it is, guys? We're 2 days away. There's no point doing anything now. When the incident first happened, it was 2 months out. But we're 2 days away. We're so close now, but I'm locked in. I'm looking forward to it. It's a big event. Again, a lot has been said, but it's now time to back it up.
I know one of your fight week rituals, I can't remember when you do it, whether it's weigh-in day or whether it's the day of the fight, but the barnet will get trimmed, the beard will come off.
Yeah, it's all coming off.
So when's that happening?
Friday night. My mum will be watching, so if I go on TV like this to fight, it's big trouble for me. Right now I'm in trouble, but on fight night it's bigger trouble.
So what are the next couple of days like? Well, do you have any set routines apart from that things you like to do, that you like to observe?
It's simple. Again, I've said it so many times. It's just meditating in the Bible, reading it. That's all I need right now. Right now the training's been done. There's nothing you're going to tell me that's going to boost me up more than what's written in the Bible. Different fighters, different things works for them, but for me this is what works. And that's that, because that works, that's all I can give and that's all I can say. I can't tell you, oh, I have all my friends around me, or I go to like a weird shop to do something. I can tell you the Bible is what I do between now and the fight.
I mean, is it the same passages, the same bits of the Bible that you would read?
Passages, but the thing is, sometimes it's the same one, but the understanding you have that I had from a scripture maybe 10 fights ago is different to what I read today. So the same scripture that I read is different every time. And there's one in my Instagram caption that everyone pulls me up and says, oh, I like that. Did you write that? And I'm like, I didn't write it. It's from the Bible. And it says, it is God who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. Everyone thinks about God as in the spirit. Yes, he's a spirit guy, but it's battle. I've had 18 fights and I can only give credit to the source.
How about you? Did you have anything you in particular wanted to do or needed to do in the build-up to a fight?
No.
And you were uncomfortable if you didn't do it?
No, not really. Well, there was one weird thing. I always made sure the lights were turned off in the hotel before I left. For some reason.
Lying.
Yeah, I swear I was weird. And the bed was made nicely, and it was just that. It was a strange thing, but no mess in the room. I've no idea. But I was going to ask you, actually, Judge, are you a person? I was a person that liked a lot of people around on fight week. Maybe fight day and the day before the fight, not necessarily talking about the fight as much, but just having people around me to maybe take my mind. Is that a bit of you as well, or?
No, I'm quite the opposite.
Okay.
When there's too much people, I don't really like it, especially when there's new people.
Okay.
I think when I started, I didn't mind, but now I only want instrumental people. People are not there just to make numbers. I want someone there that's bringing something to me, and that's only going to be from the Bible. So I like to be on my own a bit.
Okay, Josh, thanks for your time. Always good to see you. We'll let you go. We'll see you at the weigh-in tomorrow. And I think we can now welcome up Josh's promoter, boxer, CEO, Ben Shalom. Ben, good to see you.
Yeah, very good.
I think we're not too far away from the second part of the press conference getting underway, so we haven't got too long, but let's just talk about the two fighters that you've got on this card. Joshua Buatsi against Willie Hutchinson. Not a fight, I think it's fair to say, that any of us would have really imagined a year ago. The mix at light heavy seemed quite set on the British side, and then all of a sudden there's a newcomer in the mix. It's a very interesting fight, this.
When we signed Josh Buatsi, we had loads of names in the contract. Josh is so meticulous, he prepares for everything. Honestly, everything. Willie wasn't even in there. So credit to him that he's got to this position. Great performance last time out. Interim world title. But this is the moment for Josh. This is a big statement. He's had that stop-start career. He's had a big win against Dan Aziz this year. I just feel like I appreciate Willie talk to talk. I appreciate how confident he is. I appreciate how good he is in the gym and his amateur record. And everyone talks so well of him. But I believe Buatsi is going to make a big, big statement on Saturday.
People talk about Josh's reaction at the head-to-head. And I liked some of the things that you were saying about that. And you said that this is Joshua Buatsi. This is the best version. He's fired up. This is the best version of Joshua Buatsi.
I've been trying since he signed to rile him up, and I do whatever we did. He's such a gentleman that he's so relaxed. It's so hard to get him going. I thank Willie. He's done it. He has done what I wanted to see. He's given the fans the Josh that I know, and now we're going to see a great performance. I really believe it.
And just a quick one on Tyler Denny. What a story. You know, you brought him through to be a European champion. The next day after defending against Felix Cash, he gets his call. Hamza Shiraz is a really good fighter. He's done everything right, but no one's invincible.
I remember when he won the European title, we felt like we climbed Mount Everest. This was a kid that was an away fighter it was going nowhere. So to then beat Felix Cash and then to get this opportunity, it's incredible. He texted me 3 days ago, and I've said it before. He said, Ben, I know you don't believe me. I know no one believes me, but I promise you I'm going to win on Saturday night. That's how much confidence he's coming in on Saturday. He's had the perfect preparation, the perfect fights, tall fighters, rangy fighters, Brad Ray, River Wilson, bent twice. he's ready for this, and we're going to see the very best Tyler Denny on Saturday night, and whether Hamza Shiraz has enough, we'll see.
Okay, great. Ben, good to see you as always.
See you. Cheers.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Ben.
the next couple of days. So Johnny Nelson is going to come back in and join us. And Moses, I'll just bring you in on that conversation we were having before those two came up in terms of kind of fight day rituals and preparations. I mean, it's early on for you, but how are you with all of that? Any superstitions, anything in particular?
Nah, not really. I guess my ritual was training hard. I never really had like. Maybe when I was in the European Championship as an amateur, I had 4 fights in 1 week, and the first fight I went and I stopped the kid in the first round, and then like I don't know why, I just thought let me wear the same boxers for the second fight. I went and I stopped him in the first round again.
Did you watch them?
Say that again?
Did you watch them?
Didn't watch them.
No.
Didn't watch them. No, didn't watch them. No.
Nasty.
And then I was like, you know what? Let me see if this will work for the third fight. I went in, I stopped him again in the first round. And then I was like, listen, I've come 3 fights now.
Oh, no.
I might as well wear it on the last day. It wasn't like I would wear it the whole day. I'd literally put them on, box, and then I used to hang them up on the window just to let it get some fresh air. But I don't really know.
That's 4 days wear, 1 way inside out, 2 day inside out.
Sweating as well. I mean, the sweat and everything.
No, listen, I got four knockouts in 1 week. Do you get what I mean? First round as well. So I don't know.
You know, in our gym, Junior Witter, his nickname was Stinky, right? Because he'd take his training gear off after he's trained and put it on the radiator and put it on the next day. So his nickname was Stinky. You getting yourself a nickname, man.
No. Listen, I used to put like a kilo of Hugo Boss after shave on it, so it doesn't smell too bad.
No, in his defence, I watched that competition. I watched those fights. They were all first round knockouts, and some of them were quite quick. So it's not like he was. You know,
I
still have them.
Nah, do you know what? No, because they're Under Armour in it. So, apart from that, I've never really had no ritual, nothing, none of that.
I'm just always interested in how people just pass that time, basically, because you go to the venue in the evening. It's always occurred to me that it could be a long day, and it's important. And he mentioned it before. Josh came up. That ability to be able to, in the ring, be constantly vigilant but also loose, to be on point but relaxed, because if you're not, then your tank just empties really, really quickly. I mean, if you feel like you've got to grips with that early, then that's a brilliant thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think the big man certainly has that. He boxes with a sense of fluidity, not like your typical heavyweight. He's faster hands than any other heavyweight that I've seen recently. He's better head movement, and some guys are a bit, I suppose, a bit stiff, some of the heavyweights, but I think Big Moses isn't your typical heavyweight.
And let's just have a quick chat about the impact of Riyadh season on the heavyweight division, because we've got a heavyweight fight top of the card here. We have Fury against Usyk, we've had Joseph Parker against Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang. It hasn't gone well for Deontay Wilder, but Parker and Zhang have really produced some big performances. It's been great for Daniel Dubois, boxing out in Saudi Arabia twice. For Anthony Joshua, of course, it's been fantastic, because they're making the really big fights, but it's not like they're making one a year. You know, you can box 2-3 times in a year on Riyadh season if you keep winning, which is just great for the division.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fights that people were talking about for years and years are now suddenly being talked about, and with a real sense that these are actually going to happen, and that's obviously down to the backing of the Saudis, and boxing's in a really, really healthy place right now. We're up here sharing Johnny's Sky pundit, I'm TNT, your Sky, we had the Zone guy. It's just, this is not normal, but it's good, and it's good for our sport.
No, it absolutely is. Just the spirit of collaboration in general, and it shows what can be achieved, and we all know that the resources that are behind it are a big, big part of that. But the more people get used to kind of dealing with each other and working with each other, the more normal it becomes, the better chance there is that it'll continue.
Basically, you've got a responsible adult that's got everybody's heads together, crack their heads together and say, come on, what are you doing? The only people that suffer if you don't work together is you and the fans. So I like this. I think the fans benefit, we all benefit, And at the end of the day, boxing benefits, the fighters benefit. I'm an ex-fighter. I love hearing about fighters getting paid well. I love hearing fighters succeed. I love stories like Tyler Dennick, living in a one-bedroom flat, winning the European title. Now he's boxing on something like this. This is life-changing money for him. That's what boxing's supposed to be about, because it's the only sport, Brennan always said it, where you can legally get killed. It's the only sport where when you're done, everybody's forgotten and they've moved on to the next one. So I love it when the boxers benefit. So everybody working together, that's the most important thing to me. And so the vision, ridiculously spot on, and it's common sense.
I can confirm Anthony Joshua has arrived. Daniel Dubois has been here for a little while, and it's quite interesting, that dynamic during the week, because at the face-off on the Monday, Dubois was in position and Joshua kind of made him wait. And then yesterday, Joshua was on last at the open workout, so the grand arrivals, Joshua took his time. I think when they're in this kind of situation where you're going at the same time, basically, that's what Joshua's going to try and do. He's going to try and make Dubois wait for him.
I think that AJ is the type of person, and Moses will probably be able to talk about this better than I will, but I get the sense that he's the type of person that thinks about everything he does, doesn't make rash decisions. Everything's a thought process, and it's already been pre-planned before he actually does it. So I think that he's playing games. Yeah, that's what he's doing with that's why he's late today, that's why he's going on last, and I think that's just little things to try and irk and, I suppose, almost undermine your opponent.
I mean, you used to enjoy that side of it, didn't you? You were talking about it earlier. You used to relish the opportunity to kind of score a few little points over your opponents in fight. Well, you felt that it mattered.
Yeah, we did it in our gym. It was mind games. You rattle the body, you rattle the brain, you stampolize the body, you get one up. And if you can get your opponent to be angry or disrespect you or whatever, then you've got them, because they're deviating away from the game plan. So that is more as important. I think Angelo Dundee once said, no, it's Costamado once said, character is as important as talent. And so character of a fight, if you've got two fighters of the same ability, the one with the character will always come out on top, because he knows he's got something special about him. Look at people like Ali, beat most fighters before they got in the ring. Mike Tyson beat most fighters before they got in the ring. So it's just a case of what mask you're going to wear. Do you want to play the passive game and just hang about and make them wait for you? You want to be in the face, being aggressive, or you want to do a willy and try and wind somebody up? It's just, boxing is not just about boxing. There are many amazing fighters out there that can't sell a ticket, and you'll never know who they are. So you've got to be smart and think yourself as a business.
So Daniel Dubois backstage, looking very, very smart. Josh Warrington, the only one in the undercard press conference who went for the suit and tie. I love a suit and tie. I think the press conference, I think it sends a good message out to really dispense with the tracksuit, but I'm old school. So Moses, just go back to Riyadh season in general. I mean, the timing of this whole thing, this whole revolution for you has been absolutely amazing, hasn't it? Because you were a few fights into a pro career, then all of a sudden there's this big vehicle which you can get on, and your promoter is right in on the ground floor. I mean, it could hardly be better.
It's phenomenal, really. Like, I went to watch the Olympics the other day, last month or a couple months ago, and I was thinking, like, Olympics is nice. Did I make the right decision? And then, I look back and Saudi and even training with Tyson, I was like, do you know what am I talking about? Like, the experience that I've had, I can't even ask for nothing. But it's not even with the Riyadh season, even the undercards that I've been on, Better BF Yard and even all them fights like that. I'm truly blessed to be in a position that I'm in, and I always want to strive for more. And I'm just I'm taking it all in, watching all these fighters perform Saturday night. I know I'm going to sit there having goosebumps, and I'll be like, I can't wait till it's my time. But yeah, no, it's been huge. It's even Saudi Arabia. I've visited there 5-6 times. I've been there more times than I've been back home. So you can say that Saudi Arabia is my second home now. But I do enjoy it. I do literally enjoy the events they put on and everything. It's been phenomenal.
And also, Johnny, in terms of the kind of landscape of the heavyweight division, you look at the top fighters. Usyk's 37, I think. Fury's a couple of years younger. Anthony Joshua's
35
34,
next, 34
35 soon in mid-October. Joseph Parker in his 30s. Zhilei Zhang is 40. Wilder is pretty much 40, and I think as a force he's on his way out, I would say. So before too long, you know, that next cohort is coming through, isn't it?
Yeah. That's heavyweights. The best you get of heavyweights at that area, that age, in their 30s upwards. That's where you get the best out of the heavyweight. And it's the only way where the older they get, the better they get up to a certain point. Then the young boys coming through, the young guns coming through, they're the ones that you can try and pick out. They're the ones that you'll know this hype about. They're the ones that you'll think, you know what, keep an eye on him. And it's great to be able to follow their stories, follow the journey of these fighters coming through. In years to come, we might replay this, and this young man over here talking about things he doesn't know what he'll know then. You know, he'll look back at himself right now thinking, wow, I was so green then, but I learned and did it the right way. Success breeds success. If you're in the gym seeing success and you understand, you think to yourself, well, that'll work for me, that won't work for me. This is how you build up your character. This is how you build your path to get to where you want to be. But when you know somebody that's successful, it then becomes a reality. So you think, I can do that because I know someone that's doing exactly the same as me, so why shouldn't it be? I was in a gym full of champions and I was fail. I'm thinking, why? What's the difference between them and me? So then I realized it was possible because I know people that are doing it. I speak to people that are doing it. So as I said, success breeds success, and the experiences he's had, the people he's working with, you can't buy, borrow, pretend that to get that experience.
Daniel Dubois, we just saw still patiently waiting backstage. The rumour I'm hearing is that Anthony Joshua currently is refusing to get out of his car. I don't know if that's 100% true, but the entertaining thing about that image is that there will be somebody, some poor person, probably a stage manager, a floor manager from DAZN, who will be told that it's his or her job to go and get him to leave his car. And that's not a job anybody would want. That's easier said than done. But just to go back to what we were talking about, Carl, this current crop who have been very successful, they've delivered huge fights. They don't have long left, do they? I think it's fair to say that they give varying forecasts on how long they'll stay in. Fury said sometimes he wants to box until he's 40. Anthony said the same thing, but this is a hard sport.
Hard sport, and if they're all going to be fighting each other, there's Anthony Joshua and I, but if they're all going to be fighting each other like they are, they're hard fights as well, and they can have an effect on how long you stay in the game for. But I don't even, 40's not even that old for a heavyweight these days. You know, there's been, you look at what Bernard Hopkins done, he wasn't a heavyweight. George Foreman done it before him, he was a heavyweight. So I think the guys that you're talking about are in their prime years right now.
Okay, let's hand over to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, in approximately 52 hours, two of the very best, hardest-hitting heavyweights in the world today will step into the ring at the legendary Wembley Stadium, London, England, in front of 96,000 fans, a record crowd for boxing at that stadium. And it's Riyadh Season Card Wembley Edition, an event for boxing fans around the world. All brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, GEA, with Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions and Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing. Sponsorship provided by Visit Saudi, Suleiman Al Habib Hospital, Saudi Airlines, Red Sea Global, Diriyah, and Middle Beast in partnership with Gold Star Promotions and Sella. Ladies and gentlemen, special thanks to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, Turki Al Sheikh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final press conference for Saturday night's main event. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World. Let's meet the promoters and the fighters at this time. For Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Eddie Hearn. And please welcome, for Queensberry Promotions, Mr. Frank Warren.
Cheers, Frank.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the fighters. From London, England, 23 fights as a professional, 21 victories, 20 KOs. That's a 90% KO to victory ratio. He's the former WBA heavyweight world champion and the current reigning and defending IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois. And his opponent, also from London, England, an Olympic gold medal champion, 31 fights as a professional, 28 victories, 25 of those 28 victories by a KO, the two-time heavyweight champion of the world, AJ Anthony Joshua.
Cheers, mate. I'll take that, yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's turn this press conference over to our host, Mr. Ade Oladipo.
Thank you very much, Michael. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the very beautiful, historic, and iconic London Guildhall. Welcome to another huge, monumental event, and welcome to Riyadh Season Wembley Edition. Look, I've been very fortunate to have attended all the Riyadh Season events, from our very first one, Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, to our most recent event in LA, Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. And all of the events have exceeded our expectations. And all the events have got bigger and bigger. Not just fight night, that's not what Riyadh Season is about, but fight week. More excitement, more events, more engagement, and most importantly, more eyeballs on the sport that we love, boxing. What Riyadh Season has done for fighters is, for some, look, it's given them maybe opportunities that they weren't going to get. For some, it's given them the spotlight they craved. And for two fighters here in our main event, it was an opportunity to rebuild and remind people as to how good and dangerous they can be. Daniel Dubois entered Riyadh Season off the back of a defeat to Oleksandr Usyk. 2 fights and 2 wins later against Jermaine Miller and Filip Hrgovic, he's now rebuilt. He's one of the best fighters in the world, and he's the current IBF heavyweight champion. Anthony Joshua entered Riyadh Season, and it was Otto Wallin, a stern test on paper, that he came through with flying colours. And then it was Francis Ngannou, a man who had previously caused Tyson Fury so much problems. Anthony destroyed him in a couple of rounds. So here we are, 2 fighters in arguably the form of their lives that will compete in front of 96,000 spectators at the National Stadium. Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois for the IBF heavyweight title in front of the best fight fans in the world, the British fight fans. Now, look, normally, I'm going to break protocol a little bit here. Normally, you go to the promoters, and I will get to them, Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, but I want to go to the fighters first. Daniel, I want to come to you. You are the champion, and I want you to clear something up for us, Daniel. The rumours are circling. Where is your trainer, Don Charles? Is there an issue? Is it a case of Don is just sick and not here? What's happened? We haven't seen Don all week.
Listen, as long as they're in my corner on fight night, I'm all right.
But everything is okay?
Yeah, everything's good, you know.
Okay, that's good to hear. Let's move on from that and let's put that rumour to bed. All right, let's start with you, Daniel. Again, you are the current IBF heavyweight champion. You can see that the camera is here. This is a fight of extreme magnitude, right? They're saying this is the biggest British fight card we've ever seen. You headline it. How are you feeling? How's preparation gone?
Everything's gone well. Training camp's gone brilliant. I'm ready to fight. Let's go.
That you are, I know. You've wanted this fight against AJ for a while, not just after the Hrgovic fight, before that. You've called him the king. You said you're the king slayer. Why have you wanted this fight against Anthony Joshua so badly?
Well, it's a resurrection story of my career, and, you know, I'm just on a roll right now, so, you know, I just want the biggest challenges and make a name for myself and create history.
You've had some ups and downs, like every fighter, every top fighter. The ups recently have been very, very good. Jermaine Miller, Filip Hrgovic. When did it switch, Daniel? When did you realise that you are one of the best heavyweights in the world? When did it click that you can compete at the top table?
No, I've always known that. You know, I haven't got too much to say right now. I'm just ready to go on Saturday. It's a great show, and I can't wait to go.
Yeah, but let's move on. I'm going to come back to you, Daniel, though you are going to answer a few more questions, hopefully. AJ, here we go again, right? You've been there, you've done it, you've seen it all. You've been in big events. You've been in big events since you turned pro. What's it like to be at another big event, Riyadh season at Wembley, home of what I think was your biggest success against Vladimir Klitschko?
What a blessing. Thanks for everyone coming today, but it's a blessing to be back again, to be able to perform, prove to myself, prove to my team that I've listened to the instructions in training camp, and we're ready to rock and roll. And I'm in supreme condition, both physically and also mentally. So yeah, it's good to be back, and I've been watching some of the old fights as well, just adding some fuel to the fire, ready to rumble, reminding myself what I can do and what I'm capable of.
We all know exactly what you can do. Daniel Dubois is a name that maybe many thought wouldn't have been your opponent a few months ago. What type of challenge do you expect Daniel Dubois to bring to you on Saturday night?
We'll find out. We've already got a couple of hours left, so to everyone that's going to be there, you'll enjoy it, but we'll find out. I can't say I'm not Daniel. All I could do is focus on myself.
Indeed. Again, we will go back to the fighters, but I did want to speak to you first and foremost. Eddie, let's speak to your charge before we talk about Anthony Joshua. Let's talk about Riyadh season, Wembley edition. I spoke to yourself and Frank, and I was like, look, these Riyadh season events in Riyadh are fantastic. The one in LA was fantastic as well, but we need to get an event in London. We need to get an event to the National Stadium. We're only a couple of days away. What does it mean to have such a big event at Wembley?
Oh yeah, well, good evening everyone, and firstly thank you of course to the Crown Prince and His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for the vision really. I think everybody felt that Riyadh season would be in Riyadh, and it's been just under a year now since we began boxing in Riyadh season, and the change that we've seen in the sport already has been quite phenomenal. But we didn't expect to see events in Los Angeles, to see events in London, and this one's very special. You know, it's the record. It's 96,000, where I think at a time when British boxing needs a shot in the arm, and it's a shot in the arm that's been provided time and time again by this man to my right. You know, I know he's not a fan of plaudits, but you have to give him to him, because we're all very proud of the way he's carried himself since the Olympic gold medal to changing the sport in this country. Every fighter in the country today has benefited off the rise, the performances, and most importantly, the behaviour of Anthony Joshua. He's been a role model. He's inspired boxing from the top to the bottom level of the grassroots of the game. And personally on Saturday, I can't wait. You know, I think His Excellency is going to look around and see one of the greatest nights British boxing has ever seen. Just a phenomenal undercard, and as this fight draws closer, people start to realise what a great fight this is. Two dangerous British heavyweights fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. And we look back through the nights of Klitschko and Povetkin. AJ's done it all before, but Saturday will be particularly special. Three-time World Heavyweight Champion, and a list that's so thin: Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis. And again, I know he's focusing on the performance, but legacy awaits on Saturday night for the most thrilling night. And thanks to all the promoters and broadcasters and Queensbury and team, Spencer Brown, Gold Star, of course the Matchroom team, 258. It's been a brilliant collaboration with Riyadh Season, who will break records on Saturday night and give us one of the great sporting moments. Proud of Anthony Joshua, a full believer in exactly where he's at. Never seen him so calm, never seen him so calculated, never seen him so confident. I believe with all my heart, three-time World Heavyweight Champion on Saturday, and do not miss it. It's going to be a very special night.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Frank, same question to yourself. Obviously, look, you've had Daniel Dubois since the beginning, very much like Eddie's had Anthony since the beginning. You've believed in your man, even with the ups and downs. What a moment for him on Saturday to headline, as we've been hearing, in front of 96,000 people.
It is. First of all, again, I'd like to thank His Excellency and the team who made this happen. This is an iconic moment for British boxing, there's no doubt about it. It's in an iconic building. The last few press conferences we've had, they've also been in iconic venues, but this is going to be something special. Two massive big punchers, Two really good boxers, both of them on a roll, both of them winning fighters. They both had their ups and downs, not just Daniel. Both of them had their ups and downs. And so we are definitely going to see something special. And for me, there's nothing better than two Brits in the ring, in a competitive fight, in a big fight, to get atmosphere, 96,000 people, sold out. It is going to be something special. And Daniel, I do believe, is going to show what he's all about. I believed in him from day one, and he's come through everything. Trials and tribulations, injuries, lots of different things happening behind the scenes, and he's now sitting here with his belt, and he's not letting it go. He's here to keep that belt, to confirm that he is the IBF champion against a very, very good fighter in AJ, who's been brilliant for British boxing, British sport, a man whose record's been impeccable as an amateur, got robbed as a amateur world champion, won the gold medal, two-time world champion. But then we've got the new kid on the block. And this new kid on the block can fight. He can punch. He's as big a puncher, if not a bigger puncher, than AJ. He can jab, same as AJ, and he's got mobility. He's fast, and he's a good finisher. So one thing's for sure, do not blink in this fight. Do not blink, because from the first bell to the last, it's going to be something extra special. I believe this heavyweight fight could be the Britain's Hagler Hearns. That's how exciting it's going to be.
Daniel, I want to come back to you. I know you said no more questions, but I will try and force a few more questions from you, Daniel. You are now a champion, right? I mean, it's the dream from a kid to where you are now. You've got a new IBF belt in front of you. How's the confidence levels gone up since you've become champion?
The world title, I need to retain it and hold on to it. So, it's a great thing to have, but, I need to legitimize myself by winning this fight. So, I'm ready to go to war and ready for a fight.
Do you expect to knock out Anthony Joshua?
By any means necessary. Knockout, whatever way it comes.
Points, knockout, whatever way it comes, you're ready for it?
For sure.
AJ? Not been knocked out before?
Yeah.
A lot of people have said they can knock you out. Francis Ngannou mentioned it before when we did the face-off. Other fighters have said it as well. When you hear those words, is it almost just a case of, okay, you have to do what you need to do as well to get the victory?
Definitely. I showed Daniel and his whole team the respect they deserve during training camp, and that's going to put me in good stead on Saturday. So yeah, I'm tough. So is he. As Frank said, we've got all similarities. So may the best man win, really. And good luck to him. Good luck to his team. Thank you to my team for their efforts as well. Yeah, British boxing. One thing when I first started boxing, I said I want to bring the heavyweight division back alive in the UK, and I think we've done that. So well done to everyone here as well.
You guys are being very respectful now, which is nice to see. It is a gentleman's sport. I did the face-off for both of you about a month ago, and it wasn't very nice towards the end of that face-off. I had to move back, and everyone accused me of ducking away from it. I wasn't. But you accused them of being disrespectful then.
Yeah.
What happened for those that maybe didn't get that clip? Why was he disrespectful?
It wasn't disrespectful, it was just a phrase I used, but he said, "Let's go now." And I clicked for a minute. I said, "What does he mean by that?" And then he repeated it again. And I just feel like anyone in here, if I was...
Boxing, this is what happens. This is boxing. These things happen. So, we're fighting Saturday. Let's go.
So as I was saying, at the press conference, I just feel like you should never let anyone take an inch, because they'll end up taking a mile. You know what I mean, Dan? Sorry? That's it.
He said, never take an inch, never let anyone take an inch, because they'll take a mile.
Dan, I've spoken to you all week, and all week it's been smiles. I sense that the switch is now on, because you're a few days away from going to war with Anthony Joshua. Has that switch turned? Because, look, we spoke yesterday, and you're all smiling. We spoke the day before, and it was all smiles as well. It's a very different Daniel Dubois now.
No, I've been preparing for this for months, weeks, and, it's been spoken about from the start of my career, so, as a pro. So, here we are now. I'm ready for it. I feel good. I'm ready.
Okay. As I cleared up the Don Charles thing right at the beginning, I do want to clear up one more thing. and forgive me, both of you, for doing this, but I do need to clear it up because a lot of people want to know about it as well. This spar that happened several years ago. Now, you, Frank, said in a recent documentary that you heard about the spar and you signed him basically because of that spar as well. Can we clear that up now? Obviously, we know you guys are going to fight for the real thing on Saturday, but can we clear up this sparring story, these sparring rumours? AJ?
He cracked me with a great shot, and it's my chance to get him back on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it.
There you go,
Well, we sparred hundreds of rounds, didn't it?
You cracked him, Daniel. So you know you can hurt him.
It's sparring. Now we're fighting. It's different, you know.
I think it's different.
Ready to go. Move on now. You can move on now.
Oh.
Move on.
Okay. No tables flying, anything. Let's just keep this one very, very peaceful. Daniel, how do you win? Tell me how it works.
I ain't predicting nothing. I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to fight.
As expected. Anthony Joshua, how do you win on Saturday?
How do I win on Saturday? Can happen in a variety of ways, various ways, but I'm not dependent on punch power, you know. You know what, it takes a lot more than that to be a great fighter. A lot more than that to be a great fighter, so there's various ways I'll win. But I've got the fighter spirit, and that's how I'll go in there and break him down with my spirit. Eddie
mentioned that you can be one of those, rare fighters that are a three-time heavyweight world champion. Does that matter to you at this stage of your career, or is it big fights?
Nah, I'll tell you, all the accolades and stuff come later, because I always say, it's crazy, you go back to your house on Sunday morning, have the same breakfast, put your clothes in the same laundry basket, nothing really changes, go to the same local gym. So for me, it's just, I just want to compete. I'm glad I've got some of the best challenges in front of me to compete with during my career. Brings the best out of me, so yeah, that's all it is really. I'm a competitive person, and I've got a competition that I need to attend to on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to it.
Daniel, final one, don't get upset with me, I'm going to ask you one more. You're walking out in front of 96,000, you are a heavyweight world champion. A lot of people think you've got a good chance here. What's that feeling going to be like when you take that ring walk?
Like I've taken it many times before, just this time it's on the biggest stage, so the energy's going to be higher.
And AJ, you've done that walk before. Again, I said, the Vladimir Klitschko fight I thought was your best performance, an iconic performance. You take that same walk again, what's that feeling going to be like for you?
The feeling?
The feeling.
Sorry?
The feeling, what's that feeling going to be like for you?
Be the same for all of us, Honestly, all of us, many greats have walked it before. All of the undercard are going to walk it, I'm going to walk it. I'm going to feel just like any of them. But when I step into that ring, that's when I switch on and I'm ready. So the ring walk I'm not really interested in. That's just getting to the location to do my job. But once I'm in the ring, I'll be ready, 110%.
And final one to the promoters, Eddie and Frank, you've been there, both of you, you've done quite a lot in the sport. You've been at Wembley before and you've held big events. You've been at Wembley before and you've held big events. What's it going to mean to both of you to take that walk with your fighters to that ring for what is the biggest British fight card we've ever seen?
Well, listen, I'll be one of the lucky 96,000 with a great seat. But all that matters is this man to the right. The journey so far, this is his 4th fight at Wembley. Going back to the Matt Legg fight where, even the Vladimir Klitschko fight, he was just a young man starting out with a huge heart and brute force. Now, I believe he's the best heavyweight in the world with every fundamental you need, and he's developed into a great fighter. Shout out Ben Davison, Barry, the team, done an amazing job. And this is what it's all about. This is what high-level sport is all about. When he boxed Vladimir Klitschko at Wembley, people still say to me that was the greatest sporting event I've ever witnessed. I've been to Ryder Cups, Centre Court or Wimbledon. Nothing touched it. This is the beauty of big-time boxing you will see unfold at the National Stadium on Saturday night. It's going to be an amazing night, and history shall be made for this man.
And Frank, final one to you. You've had some incredible nights as a boxing promoter. This probably will be one of your biggest, if not your biggest, if Daniel Dubois can beat Anthony Joshua in front of 96,000 at Wembley.
Without a doubt. On Saturday night, I genuinely believe that Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois are going to provide something that's going to be extra special, not just in boxing, in sport. And I believe that Daniel Dubois will cement his legacy in boxing.
We'll find out on Saturday. Is it going to be and still, or is it going to be and the new? Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua, IBF heavyweight champion. Both fighters are going to pose for photos and do a face-off.
So interesting that between the pair of them. Daniel Dubois was how he has been most of the week. He was on good form, he was kind of bouncy, there was an effervescence about him. He's certainly not cutting any kind of a nervous, shy or awkward figure. The only time we've really seen that, I thought, was when he was just waiting for the face-off on Monday, but since then he's been on good form. And with the promoters as well, you get the feeling that there's so much on the line for the pair of them that, given how experienced they are, they're not going to indulge in any kind of tomfoolery. They know that it's not really going to make too much of a difference at this stage, because what's so fascinating about heavyweight boxing, Carl, is that the stakes when two fighters enter the ring at any weight are always really high, but at heavyweights it's even higher because that level of jeopardy just is greater than it is in probably any other sporting event in the world. And everybody involved in this knows it. They all know what could happen. They're all convinced their man's going to win. Joshua's convinced he's going to win. Dubois is convinced he's going to win. But deep down, they know that the bell goes and all bets are off.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything you're saying there. I think that both guys look to be extremely confident. They're backing themselves to win the fight. Interesting that he didn't say too much, Daniel, about the Don Charles rumours that we're hearing. We're all hoping it's just a bit of an illness and he's doing the sensible thing and staying away from his fighter, but he didn't really delve into it too much. Maybe that's him playing some sort of mind games on AJ and just trying to make people unaware of actually what's going on. But both guys seem really confident. AJ's a great speaker, isn't he? Like, he speaks so well, and people listen to him. But like you said, there's so much jeopardy in this fight.
Okay, so Anthony Joshua there with Ariel Helwani. Unfortunately, we won't be able to bring you that, but maybe we'll get one of the main event fighters up here. But to be honest with you, and this is no disrespect to Ariel Helwani, who's very good at his job, I doubt that he's all of a sudden going to say something now that we haven't already heard this week, is he, Johnny?
No, he's not. Carl got it spot on right. AJ's he's a seasoned pro at this. He knows to say just enough but not too much. Contain himself, not get dragged into the height of what could have been. I could see Daniel was trying to be sharp. He's just not. He's not a smart ass. He's not that guy. He can only reply, but he's just trying to create something in himself that is not there. Keep it simple. Keep it plain. Just get on with it. And I think AJ kind of looked at him and thought, I'm not even playing with you. I'm not even going to get into it with you because I'm wasting my time here. Let's get on with the fight. That's what both fighters want to do.
We'll get into this tomorrow in mind-boggling detail when it comes to their weights. But, of course, they don't have a weight to make. But by the look of them this week, you wouldn't expect them to be much different from where they've weighed in up their last couple of fights because they're in good form. What they've been doing has been working, so why would they change it?
I think both fighters probably know their optimal weight to box at and what they best perform at. What I thought was really interesting, I think that Daniel Dubois actually looked leaner than I've seen him recently. So maybe he'll come in a little bit later. But I imagine that's all part of the plan. It's easy for a heavyweight, isn't it, this game? When you've obviously got the jeopardy of being knocked out, but I'm telling you, making weight is the first battle that every fighter that has had to do it talks about. Horrible thing to do.
Well, the undercard fighters have got that final bit of pain to go through tonight and tomorrow morning to get those final few pounds off. Johnny, it's a game we play during fight week normally, and we haven't really done it this week, to be honest, is to kind of look at a human and feel like we can tell, to kind of the nearest £5 how much they're weighing. It's crazy stuff, really, but they just both look well, don't they? They both look on good form. If they're carrying an injury, then we wouldn't know, but there's certainly been no kind of anxiety from them at any point, even in unguarded moments?
Well, unfortunately, if there is an injury, they've got to keep it to themselves, because, and even after the fight, you can't even say this was wrong or that was wrong, because therefore it sounds like you can't take defeat. When it comes to the weighing, I reckon AJ will come about 17-3, 17-4. Physically, I think he's looking at speed and power. Daniel Dubois, again, it doesn't look massive. I think these guys, there won't be much in it. But I really don't believe the weight is going to make that much of a difference. I suppose if AJ came in really heavy and flat-footed, that's a bad move. But I don't think the weight with these guys is the issue. I think it's tactics, how they play the fight. Will it be early? Will it be late? Daniel Dubois says by any means necessary, which means he's willing to go through hell of fire for this fight. And if he is, he's going to get hit. And if he can stay there after being hit and think, I'm going to drag you into fire, then that's going to make the fight really, really interesting.
Okay, let's try and get into some finer detail. I'll put you both on the spot a bit here. It's not really fair, to be honest, but when the bell goes in those very early exchanges, best guess, what do you think we'll see?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
I know it's a really intriguing fight, and the only thing I mean, you can't guarantee anything in this sport, but I would be very, very surprised if we see round 7. I do think the longer the fight goes on, the more chance Daniel has, but can you see anything but a knockout?
You know what? Nothing but a knockout. I don't see it going past the first round, number one. Number two, I think both fighters get into the middle of the ring. Then AJ's very fast. He's got like a fishing hook kind of straight right hand when he lands it in, and he wants to find the timing, find the distance. Now, if Daniel lets him find that timing, which I think he will do, he'll be flat-footed trying to slip and get him popped. The problem is, if AJ gets that shot in and then starts to get excited, thinking, oh, I've got another one here, I've got another one. And if Daniel's still there, that's when it'll get interesting, that's when it'll get dangerous. I'd be so surprised if he went past 4 or 5 rounds. I'd be so surprised.
The referee tomorrow for the main event is Marcus McDonnell, by the way. Marcus McDonnell refereed Anthony Joshua's fight against Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine Franklin wasn't too happy with the way that he handled it on that occasion, but Marcus, one of the best we've got under the British Boxing Board of Control, has stayed largely controversy-free, I think it's fair to say, throughout his career, so a very experienced fighter, referee rather, in charge of that main event. Well, gentlemen, thanks very much for your company. Thanks to everybody else who has joined us. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here live from the Guildhall, a different kind of a setting from a press conference. Join us again for the weigh-in tomorrow, which will start, first fighters on the scales, I believe, at 6 p.m.